Karachi, a city of lights, but shadows lurk behind its glow. Wasim, a 40-year-old cab driver, worked the night shift. A simple, hard-working man, he lived with his daughter, Sarah, a brilliant university student, very close to her father. Wasim made it a point to return home before midnight. Something about the silence of the night always unsettled him. One night, on his way home, he spotted a tall man standing at the roadside. The man raised his hand, signaling for a ride. "Where to?" Wasim asked. "Just drive straight, I'll guide you." The man's voice echoed strangely, like a whisper wrapped in thunder. Wasim glanced at the clock. It was nearly midnight. A chill ran down his spine, but he didn't question further. As they drove, Wasim glanced into the rearview mirror. The passenger wasn't there. "Maybe it's the lighting," he mumbled. Suddenly, the radio turned on by itself. A voice whispered through the static, "This journey is not for you. Turn back." Wasim switched off the radio. It flicked back on. The air inside the cab grew icy cold, despite the summer heat outside. "Take the next right," the man instructed. Wasim turned and froze. They were outside an old graveyard. "Here?" he asked, confused. The man nodded. Wasim parked. When he turned around, the seat was empty. He stumbled out of the car. On a crumbling grave near the gate, he saw a set of clothes, exactly like what the man was wearing. The headstone read, "Al Khan died 1995. The next day, Sarah was home alone. The lights flickered, the mirror fogged over on its own. She heard footsteps. When Wasim returned, he found her unconscious, with bruises on her face. Terrified, Wasim visited a local spiritual healer. The man said, "The one you gave a ride to is a cursed spirit. He returns every 10 years. The cab driver he chooses, his daughter becomes the offering." That night, Wasim returned to the same spot. He played the call to prayer, recited verses from the Quran. Smoke filled the cab. Sarah's reflection appeared in the mirror. Eyes white, face resembling the passenger's. "My daughter's blood was spilled here. Now it's your daughter's turn," the spirit howled. Wasim recited louder. The spirit screamed in agony, then vanished. Days passed. Sarah was happy again, smiling, studying, laughing. One night, while brushing her hair in front of the mirror, she saw her reflection. Her shadow was smiling, but she wasn't. Maybe the spirit left, or maybe it's inside her now. If you like the video, press the button and subscribe the channel.
It was around 12:30 a.m. The streets of Karachi had emptied under the heavy downpour. Water had pooled into potholes, and the sky roared continuously with thunder. Ikram, a 38-year-old cab driver, used to work late into the night. But tonight, something about the weather felt different. A strange unease filled the air. Soft music played on the radio when suddenly a voice buzzed through the wireless. Avoid picking up passengers from certain areas on rainy nights. Some stories aren't just myths. Ikram laughed it off and turned the wireless off. As he approached a lonely stretch between Gulshan-e-Hadid and the National Highway, the cab's headlights revealed a woman and a little girl standing by the roadside. Both wore white clothes, soaked in rain. The woman raised her hand to signal the cab. Ikram hesitated. Something felt off in his gut. A woman and a child standing like this, in the rain. Feeling sympathy, he pulled over. The woman quietly got into the back seat and said, "Just drive straight. I'll tell you the way." The child sat silently, her hair stuck to her face from the rain. As the journey continued, Ikram glanced at the rearview mirror and froze. The woman's reflection wasn't visible. He quickly wiped the mirror, assuming it was fogged up, but the view remained unchanged. Then, the radio turned on by itself, and this time a whisper emerged. Don't stop, or you'll never return." Ikram's breath caught in his throat. Is this coincidence or something else? Suddenly, the woman said, "Turn left here, then go straight." The road became darker, narrower, unpaved. No houses in sight, just fields, weeds, and crumbling walls. Ikram stopped the car. "Ma'am, this place doesn't feel right. Where are we going?" The woman looked up for the first time, her eyes completely white. "Where we must go, I'm taking you there." The inside of the cab suddenly turned icy cold. Ikram turned on the heater, but the chill grew worse. The little girl turned her head slowly and stared at Ikram, her eyes black, lifeless like a doll's. Then the woman screamed, "You didn't recognize me, did you? Many drivers speed away when they see me, but you stopped." Ikram's heart raced. He tried to accelerate, but the steering wheel had locked up. Frightened, Ikram opened the door and jumped out. Rain blurred everything around. But then, the woman and the child stepped out too, and now their faces were clearly visible. The woman's face was half burned with deep red eyes, while blood trickled from the girl's mouth. "We died in a crash, and ever since, we seek out drivers who stop for us. We make them ours." Ikram, trembling, began reciting prayers aloud. He stumbled backward. Suddenly, headlights appeared in the distance. A truck was approaching. As the light reached them, the woman and girl shrieked and vanished into the mist, as if they were never there. Ikram collapsed to the ground, shaking. The truck didn't stop. Maybe the driver already knew. The next morning, Ikram sat at a roadside tea stall and told an elderly man everything. The old man took a deep breath and said, "Son, you're lucky to be alive. That woman, she's a churel, a witch. They say she and her daughter died in a rainstorm crash years ago. On stormy nights, she appears by the road. Drivers who stop for her are never seen again." Ikram turned pale. "So she was real?" "Not anymore, son. Now she's a spirit." Ikram quit driving. Days passed. One night, as he sat before his mirror at home, he suddenly heard the sound of rain behind him. He turned. No one was there, but in the mirror stood the same woman, smiling. "I haven't left yet, just waiting for the right time." Ikram may have escaped, but that face, that scream, that moment would haunt him for the rest of his life. If you liked the video, press the like button and subscribe to the channel.